This meme of the day is brought to you by Baffled Lizard. Because even the Spider-Man villains were shocked at the next time.
Thank you, Yang the Insane, for this meme of the day.
Once again, if you guys want to post your memes of the day, Twitter is the best place to reach us.
Is it going to be a recurring theme that the meme of the day is going to involve something Spider-Man related?
Well, mate's cursed, so...
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at this point, probably.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Let's Discuss Death Battle. As always, here's your boy, Zabil, and joined with me is of course your only mate.
Something wonderful has come out recently, and that being Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Indeed.
Which I'm playing right now.
And also joined with us is probably the most excited fellow on this podcast, Sean.
I don't have a funny intro because I'm just really that excited to get into this.
Alright then, so, welcome to the latest episode of Let's Discuss Death Battle, and I think before we talk about Korra versus Storm, I wanted to bring up some comments we got on our last three podcasts, because we actually got quite a few in the last three. Many of them commented on the skit we did in the opening.
Glad you
That
guys
was
like
fun.
that skit.
And this one in particular, Henry Brighton.
Can I just say, to that person who said, I need someone to keep an eye on Plush Blake, I tried that. It left a mess, and I'm now banned from Ireland.
That was literally the comment.
Don't ask how that works.
That was literally going to be the comment I was going to read out to you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
God damn it. Well, thank you, Henry Bryant.
Your only mate just jumping in to be like, well, now let me say this. Alright then, that comment. And the next one, pretty much this guy pretty much summed up the next time from Sunny M about the episode we're about to talk about. Easy, you have someone who can control the weather against someone who can control the elements themselves. Apparently this is called a battle. You're not wrong.
Well, to them I would like to say, technically speaking, elements are just more than you know, the weather itself with clouds, lightning, rain. There's more to elements than that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no, this wasn't a battle, this was a slaughter.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And but I also wanted to acknowledge this comment. I was debating whether we should mention this, and for disclosure, do not send hate to this person. Alright, we're simply responding to a comment naturally, but this one kind of caught my attention. This person, November Plute, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Man, this was toxic as hell to watch. Everyone flexing on their knowledge to trying to outdo each other, and quite poorly no less. I never quite understood this guy, and I did try to respond to them. They never responded to me back when I explained to them, but I feel like many people might not get what the whole point of Lads Discuss Death Battle is. It's like, yeah, we're talking about Death Battle, but we don't try and outdo one another in terms of our knowledge.
I mean, yeah, I try to add on to stuff that Richard was saying about Korra, but yeah, that's just... By the way, here's some additional stuff.
Yeah, and plus, what could I really bring to this table aside the little bits I knew about Storm from the animated cartoon and a few comics I might have read when I was in secondary school, when Mate, and especially Korra, I've only seen 2 episodes of her show, whereas Mate and Richard have actually watched the show, so they could provide the knowledge. So I don't really get how that's flexing. And even if we correct one another, that's not us flexing, that's just us correcting a mistake someone could make, because we know what Death Battle fans are like when it comes to making a mistake.
Yeah. we're not just people who just throw out numbers and stats all the time. We just have a conversation and we try to keep our predictions based off what we do know about the characters.
And I mean, this is for me as well. One of the things I love about doing Lads Discuss Death Battle is just lads hanging out and just talking about a show they also love. I'll even go ahead.
Just having a laugh.
I'll even say I can't exactly say I'm the smartest person when it comes to discussing verse topics, because I'm not a scaler, I'm not a calculator. I just go into knowledge of characters I know, or going into it wanting to know about the characters. Speaking of, Korra versus Storm. That's it, not a bad episode. I wouldn't say it's as good as Akuma versus Shao Kahn, but it was actually alright.
I feel like this episode as a whole was a lot better than we gave it credit for. I mean, there was a lot of funny parts in like the analysis too. I think one of my favorites was Boomstick reincarnating into Dummy. That was kind of funny.
Yes.
I laughed my ass off at that, and honestly, I think that carried this episode for me.
The analysis humour was definitely the saving grace for, I think, a majority of people like myself who is not too knowledgeable on Korra and, well, a little bit on Storm.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Someone was saying that some of the analysis in this episode was reminding them of Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, kind of. Whereas one character they felt just meh about, but then it really got invested into another one, and that just put an image in my head of Korra dressed up as Goku Black and Storm dressed up as Fawn, and that is kind of disturbing.
Oh, God.
Do you imagine if Storm could manipulate spirits, just rips out Rava and depowers Korra? Sorry, was that important?
Oof.
Yeah, and you know what? If somehow you haven't watched the episode yet and you are curious who won, yeah, unsurprisingly, Storm won. It's kind of sad, actually. Not as in, like, oh...
I am shooketh. I am shooketh to my very core. I could not have foreseen this.
Like the boulders that Korra bends in her show?
So anyway...
Okay, that was terrible.
No, I should have said, I am shooketh to my very core.
At this point, I need to bring the pun counter back.
I mean, you are editing. You technically can.
Yeah,
There's nothing stopping you.
If I feel like it. Although I think I remember Sean or you breaking it early in this season.
Yeah, but hey.
Okay, I have to admit, when it came to this episode being, announced, I think maybe we were a little bit harsh on it. Just a little bit.
I think so too. I mean, I was looking forward to Storm coming up because I like Storm, and that was about it.
I think I was mostly just disappointed because I was actually starting to get excited for a different matchup. And then this got announced.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Because I saw this around on Twitter, and people were so upset that it was Storm versus Korra that they wanted to skip the episode just because that there's no debate.
I actually do have something to say about it, but I'll let Sean finish his thing.
Thank you. But I wanted to first hear what you guys had to say about that before I said what I wanted to say. But if Bill wants you to say this real quick, I'll say it real quick. I don't think you should skip an episode of Death Battle just because you're not into the debate. Death Battle itself is not just about the debate. You got the entertainment, you got learning about new characters, the animation, having fun with this series, being entertained, and of course, death. If you're so focused on one aspect of the episode, then why bother just watching the series in general?
Yeah, and also, look at episodes like 4 versus Raiden or Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. Yeah, there's not really much of a debate to them, but they're still great episodes.
Now, this could just be where, I decided, you know what, it's been a while since I was in a certain server, which I think Richard and Sean are part of as well.
Yeah.
When this episode was announced, I thought I'd have a look in the Death Battle discussion part of this Discord, and people were pretty much shitting all over Chad and James, the research team, and just the show in general, saying they're going to skip it. Now, to be fair, if you're primarily just not...
Chad and Chad?
Oh, who did I say?
You said Chad and James.
Oh, goodness, I said his first name, I said his last name first. God,
I would say...
Who on the Death Battle crew is named James?
Don't know, who am I thinking of?
I would say you can put up a dumb counter, but I think you could probably put up a mix-up counter because Chad's last name is James.
Yeah, and plus I'm not going to edit the dumb counter in because I feel like that's an insulting joke. But anyway, the point I was trying to
Hey,
make...
you can't laugh at yourself.
The point I was trying to make... Lost my train of thought now. Bugger.
You were saying people were hating on Ben and Chad.
Yes, that was it.
That's where you
Yes.
left off.
This is why, people, I'm looking for replacements. So anyway, so with Bit...
Hey, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, I felt like people... I can understand if you're not interested in seeing the episode. Maybe it's just not an episode you're interested in and you're unsure about it. But I think to go that far just to trash all over Death Battle, and even mate even kind of brought this up, which is going to be my follow-up. Death Battle's had so many one-sided fights before. Why is it specifically this one that's decided to make people just be like right off the show and saying this is lazy and stuff like that? And also, to call Death Battle lazy for doing a matchup they've wanted to do, that's kind of just petty. I think that's the best way I can sum it. That's just petty.
Yeah. So petty that I think Eobard Thorn would just be like, dude, really?
Right?
You guys, they make Eobard look like a goddamn saint.
At least there was some kindness behind his pettiness. Kind of. But, you know, we were going to say this for the third topic, but listen, people, if you're going to go out of your way to insult the people behind the show just because they did a matchup you don't like, go fuck yourself. A kindly way to say it up, just go fuck yourself.
I would say that's not very kindly, but I imagine you also just changing it to, would you kindly go fuck yourself? And then they have to do it.
Bioshock references.
Wait, that's a Bioshock reference?
Yeah, Bioshock 1. It was, I'll say this real quick. It was the key phrase in Bioshock 1.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Huh.
That's all I'm saying about it.
By the way,
I've just heard that from Achievement Hunter.
You should definitely play the game though, it's amazing, it's fantastic, and its sequels are also really good. Don't hear what the critics and fans say.
You know what else was surprisingly fantastic? The fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fight was actually much better. How I kind of view it is how I thought about Blake versus Mikasa. I didn't think much of it, but I still went into it hoping for a good fight, and I got it.
Like, you know what's funny? So, I'm sure you guys have seen this guy's art before. I think it's pronounced Torok. He used the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sprite for his art, and that's legit the same sprite they used for this animation. So god dang it, Torok, you cursed.
Everyone's cursed on this podcast.
Hear me. But no, I thought that was a nice sprite, and the Korra sprite was also well done.
That was
as
a
well as
custom
their
one,
voice
right?
actors.
Yeah, that was custom made, wasn't it?
I think the Korra one was, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like the voice acting as well for these two, especially for Korra, was well done.
Yeah, I think I remember, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but isn't one of the actresses for this episode, I think it's the Storm one, she also voiced Wonder Woman in the latest Injustice movie.
That, and she's actually been in Death Battle before, I'm pretty sure. She played She-Ra and Batgirl.
Oh, damn.
Hey, she got a win.
Hey, you're no longer in the Losers Club. Congratulations.
I also find it funny, it took until she stopped being a Warner Bros. Product to finally win a Death Battle. The moment she joined the Disney side.
You know, like, especially the Korra voice actors, this was her debut in Death Battle, and I thought she did really well. And I was saying that the elements against each other, you know, against Storm's weather was going to be a nice thing to see, and it was. And probably my favorite part was going to the Spirit Realm scene. and just seeing all the silhouettes walk by of all past combatants, which made, I'm pretty sure, said he wished for that in Dio versus Alucard.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a funny reference if all of Alucard's blood zombies were past combatants. But that
Well, we get
would
it
have
here.
just been like, yeah, we got a hit.
Admittedly, I think it's kind of good they're in spirit form rather than showing them as mangled up corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then Storm's inner monologue, just showing that willpower and emotion she does have, was well done.
Also, Cabbage Merchant. They brought him in.
So wait, did the Cabbage Merchant actually die in Zuko versus Todoroki? Is that canon now?
No, because Korra takes place in the future, so just like, oh, he's dead, but still with his cabbages.
Oh.
I was thinking,
I thought that would have been really funny.
yeah,
That would have been great Death Battle continuity.
I was actually thinking that, you know, if they're in the spirit realm, then they're not going to do the cabbage joke because they're in another dimension. No, I'm glad I was wrong.
I think that's also Noel Wiggins, I think is his name. He was
Yeah.
tweeting about how he got to voice Cabbage Guy again.
No, my cabbages! They'll never be safe! Well, at least he's catching on to his role in life.
Wait, didn't his cabbage farm though end up becoming like some big supermarket company in the show?
Yeah, but then it got shut down, and I think his descendant was like, no, my cabbage go!
Oh, for God's sake. That is just sad.
Finally! Oh, sorry, I'm still playing Pokemon. I just found Phoebus.
Oh my goodness. Professional
I was gonna say.
podcasters here, people.
Okay, but
You, I'm playing Pokemon.
I'll be honest though, like the Spirit Realm scene in this, I thought was done better than in Poe vs. Iron Fist.
Oh, we didn't even get to see much of that. So it was just show the dragon bit and then just the death.
Yeah.
I felt like they used it a lot better in this case. And then of course, the climax and then the death. Some people were saying that the death was kind of bad, and I'm just like, well, how?
She literally got her mind blown.
A friend made that same joke.
God dang it, Bill.
I can already figure out who that person is. If I really had to say one thing, and I don't want to make this sound like it's a negative, because this is really unfair to say, because I know some people don't like it. But when Boozer said, oh, it wasn't so straightforward, I was thinking, well, I really doubt you can make any argument for how Korra could win.
No, there really isn't.
Now,
I
okay,
mean,
and then here's what I think. Okay then, if you try and if you want to try and like minimize collateral damage from the fans of the losers, you can still say the character's strong in their own right, and in their own universe they are absolutely like the goats of that universe. But of course you can then say, but against this certain character, she's out of her league. That's how I would kind of soften the blow. I know people hate it when Death Battle said this fight isn't as straightforward and stuff like that, and I can both understand it, but also think that once again it's kind of petty to get mad at them for that. Like I saw someone on Twitter get mad over it, and I was like, really? You're mad at them giving them the benefit of the doubt of certain winners or losers?
I do want to mention when they did the Mega Man Battle Royale, they said this result was clear cut. Why'd they say it for that and not other episodes?
Maybe after that, maybe they've wanted to play devil's advocate for like both combatants and just give each character like, oh, okay, this is why this character's really good and how we could figure out a way they could win, which I do like that they try and also acknowledge how this character could win, but explain how the winner wins more often. I just think you couldn't do it for this fight, in my opinion. I could be wrong, who knows, maybe 10 years from now Korra comes back and she's somehow universe busting or something.
I will say though, speaking of like the post analysis, surprisingly like the math was a little bit closer than I expected. Like at least 250 times stronger and 25 times faster, I think, was like two of the biggest ones that kind of surprised me.
I've actually heard that Storm was significantly lowballed.
Oof.
Well, we don't know for sure because we don't work on the research team, so I'm not exactly sure of that argument.
Plus, people said that about Hulk in Hulk vs. Broly, but I really doubt that. I'm not sure if she's as powerful as Death Battle fans say. So I feel like a lot of them tends to scale in this character to this, and I think some people try and scale Storm to World Breaker Hulk. Just because she fought the Hulk at one time. I think we even kind of mentioned she fought the Hulk in the last podcast.
Yeah, we did,
So
and
she beat Hulk.
No.
I don't think she beat him.
Huh.
I think she only fought on
That's-
par with him and survived the
was-
punch.
I was trying like to stay away from the whole Hulk argument because I knew that wasn't like that big of a deal compared to like someone like Colossus, who she's going up against, more than once. I also completely forgot about Callisto. I thought they would bring up Gambit for the close range style, because that's part of Gambit's thing.
I honestly don't really... Now, the reason I'm saying I don't like this episode as much as Shao Kahn vs. Akuma is that... Obviously, one, I'm not too of a big fan of these characters, so obviously I'm not going to be that hyped over it. But I just thought, with everything they'd done, the analysis was funny, there was some good jokes in there, and overall the fight was really good. So I just think it's just an enjoyable episode I can just watch now and then.
Okay, this is a quick. Okay, this is a nitpick.
Okay.
Why were there two cars in the middle of the Arctic, where Korra was?
That's actually a good point.
There was no one else around. Why were there two?
Well, I don't know.
Where did the second car come from, Ben?
I guess they wanted to try to find a way to incorporate the metal bending aspect because people were going to complain about it, but they didn't include metal bending.
Yeah, I know the reason why they're there. This is just a joke.
Okay.
You don't have to explain your joke is a joke, mate. We can get your joke. You say this every episode, damn it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's taken too seriously, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
Okay, well, people who take the joke seriously, don't take it seriously. We're all doing it for fun. So would you kindly shut the fuck up about it if you don't get our jokes? Do you think that will convince them more if I said, would you kindly?
You think that's going to become a common phrase on this podcast now? Would you kindly, shut the fuck up?
Just...
That's probably going to appear more so in our third discussion of today.
Put that on a shirt.
Would you kindly go fuck yourself?
I probably could. I probably could, actually. I could probably sell shirts like that.
If this channel ever gets so popular that I can start making merchandise, that will be my first ever shirt.
I've joked so much about, if I could sell merch of just, stupid stuff that has been said on my channel or whatever. There's Blake gets all the bitches. Waifu for Laifu. Gotta take a Patrick Stewart. And I guess now there's this.
Man, you bring up some old school jokes. I was like, damn, I remember these during my sixth form days.
Someone already has a waifu for Laifu shirt.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Redbubble.
Oh.
Lucky bastard.
Well, I mean, for mine's design, it would be, cross-armed back-to-back, looking cool, Blake and Weiss.
Nice.
So, do you guys have anything else that you want to add for this episode? Because I think we kind of said our piece, but if you have anything more, go ahead.
Okay, so I've said that I think this might be my least favorite episode this season, right?
Yes.
Okay, some of the things that, okay, there are parts about this episode I do like. Yeah, the fight is cool with all the visuals it has. There are a few jokes in analysis that I thought were funny. But I'm just not that invested in rewatching it. as a whole, and like when I do, okay, this is more so on the source material rather than Death Battle itself, but that Korra line that they play, I cannot stand it. Like, no joke, when I was watching Korra leading up to this, I heard that line, I had to pause and go and get alcohol. I was not a fan. But, like I said, more on the source material rather than the actual episode.
I'm actually
the
just gonna say,
Queen shit.
I thought that was adorable. I was like, how could you not love that line? Like, when I was watching that, I was like, that is really adorable.
Oh, poor little Korra, you are so hot-headed for your own good.
Right?
Yeah, the whole, like, Queen shit thing kind of... It was a bit overplayed for me. The Captain Planet joke just isn't funny anymore. But at the very least, they seem to acknowledge, yeah, we've done that too much by having Boomstick go, not you. So, it's not that bad.
Hashtag your only mate hates the planet.
Also, I timed it in Storm's analysis. It takes exactly 1 minute 23 seconds to know that Korra is doomed. Because they bring up all these calcs for Korra, which are not her own feats. And then just like, less than 2 minutes into Storm, she created a storm around the entire planet. GG.
No Reese?
It took so much of me not to comment on this in my reaction. But, you know, in the post-analysis when they bring up, oh, here's how cool Korra is, and all these benders, like, this guy that was the Book 3 villain and this girl that was the Book 4 villain, they couldn't beat her at her best. Funny thing about that, they both kind of kicked her ass, even in the Avatar state.
Oof.
It's like one of those cases where it's like, oh wait, they did.
Yeah.
I can tell you're trying your best really not to rip this episode a new asshole, but you can go right ahead if you want to. There are no strings on you, mate.
Well, there's actually a quote that, well, it's not really a quote, but a point that a friend of mine sent me based on comments that he saw. So basically, it felt like they were massively trying to, and they quote-unquote patronize towards Korra.
Oof.
Like, try and make it seem like she stood a chance with them, like, playing up everything she did and quote-unquote downplaying Storm. It's kind of like they felt bad because of how screwed she was and tried really hard to be nice to her. And, like, the constant, like, Queen shit thing. And considering that there are characters who also stood next to no chance in their fights and they still got insulted, whereas Korra didn't, like, I don't know, it's one of those things that just seems a little weird.
Yeah, I get this is their most wanted episode to do, and I can imagine they were trying their best to try and give some arguments to a certain character, but I think a good example is kind of bringing up your only mate. Like, despite how much he wanted Blake versus Mikasa, he straight up said, like, nah, Mikasa is screwed. Like, there is no advantage she has.
Yeah, no, like... Well, no, there are some.
Are they very
Mikasa
specific?
had more going for her than Korra.
Were they very specific, though?
She had the experience advantage due to the Ackerman memory.
Yeah, but that only gives them, like, slight increased strength and fighting experience.
Well, no, the fighting experience, it's all the experience of every Ackerman before her. And considering they've been around for a century, that's 100+ years of experience she's got over Blake.
Yeah, but doesn't Korra also have, like, the powers of all the previous avatars? I'm noticing a pattern with this death battle.
Okay, yeah, you have a point, but that's specifically when she's in the Avatar state. With Mikasa, that's, like, constant.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, I guess Mikasa had the inherently more destructive arsenal thanks to the Thunder Spears, but Blake's stuff was just more versatile. Like, I personally think the ODM gear is a bit more mobile, and it would give you the better mobility than Gamble Shroud would.
Anything else you want to add?
Specifically about the episode, or just something dumb?
Yes.
Okay, while we've been talking, I've caught like 5 Phoebuses.
Unrelated. I probably should have said about the episode. Okay, so...
Okay.
So, shall we, or Sean, do you have any last things to add for
Oh,
this
wait.
one?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, I just realized something funny.
Oh, yeah?
So I mentioned, like, this might be my least favorite episode of this year. My least favorite episode last year. Go Fight I was disappointed with when it was announced, and is kind of carried by the dummy skit. Which was also the 3rd from last episode.
Wait a minute.
That's kind of hilarious.
You know what's even weirder, before I get to my final point?
But,
The voice... There's a common voice actress in both those episodes, mate.
oh my god!
You must really not like her!
No, it has nothing to do with the voice actress, I swear to god! I didn't even realize it was her!
Oh god, okay. That is a little funny, looking on everything. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I think this episode was better than we gave it credit for. I would argue, for me personally, it's in the top 10 episodes of this season. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun watch. There are some episodes that aren't as good as Korra versus Storm, but there are worse episodes that we've gotten this season.
Really?
Yeah. I'll talk about that all when we go over everything.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
That'll be an interesting
Overall,
topic.
It's not as bad as we made it out to be. They tried, and it was entertaining. And based off early view counts, considering how it's doing right now, people really seem to like how it turned out.
Yeah, so...
I would say, if you're one of those people who skip this episode, just at least give the fight at least a watch. Give it a chance.
And don't insult the creators of the show just because you're not invested in a random episode out of like over 100 fights that they've done.
Oh, I just thought of a suspect quote to go with this.
Go ahead. We pretty much already said all these jokes at this point.
I feel bad for saying this, but to those who wanted to skip it, I have a method of watching it that might make you enjoy it more. Watch it like you would porn. Just skip to the action.
I suppose that's one quote you could use. Not one I would have used, but it's fair enough.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I just saw the opportunity for that and I thought it was funny.
So, I cannot segue from that. So let's talk about the next time.